Podcast City Network.
Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Fixed Edge, episode 28, and we now have football for the rest of the year, all the way into February. It's going to be beautiful times, and a lot to talk about today when it comes to that as well, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Can't do the show, though, without the man, the myth, the legend himself, S Money. How you doing, bud?
Good. What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing good today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We got a lot to talk about today, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Football is back. The weekends are filled with fun. I had to coach a little this weekend, but got to watch a good amount of the late night football. Man, it's nothing like just waking up, watching football from when you wake up and fall asleep watching it 1 a.m. in the morning when you're watching, the Cal Nevada out there. Pacific time. So definitely good stuff.
Yeah, man. Beautiful times we're in these days, I tell you what. But you also got to make sure to follow Fixed Edge on social media at Fixed Edge on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find us on YouTube by searching Fixed Edge Investing. Go on all those platforms, hit the like, subscribe, and follow buttons. That way you don't miss out on the latest and greatest from Fixed Edge.
Somebody DM'd me and they said, could we put, of course, I'm not tech, but they want us to put the link in the bio of how they can watch the show.
Absolutely. We're going to add that to the bios too. That way you guys have a better guidance when you go onto our social media pages on being able to find exactly where we're at. So definitely going to be making some nice advancements in the social media platforms here soon. So definitely make sure to keep your eyes out because we're trying to bring the very best that we can to you guys, the fans. And that's what's important.
I would have did it, but I don't know how.
It's okay. We'll get you there.
I just told them to check us out somewhere.
Right. Yeah. But that does bring us to the last week recap. And had two games last week. The Red Sox at the Rays. And, of course, the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Clemson Tigers out of Charlotte. And we went 1-1 last week.
No. I hit the Red Sox. And
definitely did good on that one.
Yeah, Clemson lost. But remember, I said the guy had a question for you. I said
that's
if the
right.
line comes down to 2.5, we are not playing it. So I'm not going to take credit for the other side. But when the line comes 2.5, the sharp money push it off. I X'd that one off. So went 1-0. And if you followed along last week and it dropped to 2.5, you should have stayed off the play.
Yeah, and obviously that ended up working to the favor if you did stay off it because Georgia ended up winning that game 10-3.
Good game.
Yeah, defensive nail biter.
Yeah, and I mentioned that as well. I said if I was to give you an opinion, I definitely like the under in that game of under 51. So that was on last week's recap. I won't take credit for that. I'll just take my 1-0. I talked you off to the loser, tell you to get the under, but we'll just take the 1-0 and we'll move on to this week.
Absolutely, and a lot to talk about this week. Before we get to that, you got to make sure to follow us on all of our content platforms. Our video portions on YouTube by searching Fixed Edge Investing, like we mentioned earlier, but also our audio portions on Player FM, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Podcast. You can go on any of those platforms and search Fixed Edge, and you'll be able to find this wonderful show in all of its entirety. So definitely make sure to go on there, hit the like, follow, and subscribe buttons. That way you get updated every time we drop any of our playback episodes. But you can also find a lot of this right on the hub page on podcastcity.net/fixed edge. So definitely make sure to check that out as well. But that brings us to our first game of the evening. LA Dodgers at the St. Louis Cardinals. And this one's going to be interesting. We're going to see Wainwright pitch a little bit in here. Dodgers are favored to win this one. What do you think about the line?
Well, Dodgers are hot. I think they were hot. We've been covering them a lot. I know that. I mean, they're hot. I know that. They won the first 2 of the series over there in St. Louis. 6 of their last 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're expected to be in the pennant race. They're expected to be there for it all. Wouldn't be shocked to see that. Mitch White, don't know a whole lot about him. Decent ERA. Adams Wainwright, he's been around a long time. He's a legend. Had a few off years. Seems like he's back to par now. Little sub-3, 14-7 record. Line opened up at like 102, 105. I think it's at 125, 126 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers are the side that people would say is the easy side. I'm going to go with the home underdog here. I'm a back Wainwright. I think they get one of these 3 games. He pitched well enough, and they hit this guy White a little bit in a close game. Maybe they open it up, depending on how much White can go or how long Wainwright can go. But definitely, it's a small price. To me, that's they want you to bet the Dodgers. Hey, take the Dodgers. They're cheap. You can lay just a little bit of money. You can get your money. coaxing me in there. And I know you got Wayne's right on the other side, but for me, I'm going to back the guy that can pitch. I'm going to back the proven versus the unproven, and I'm going to take the home underdog here, slight underdog, with Wayne's right in the cards. And the money right now is sitting like 60% or so on the Dodgers. Nothing crazy. It's not a crazy public play. But definitely, I'm going to back Wayne's right here.
Definitely. You can catch this game at 7:45 p.m. on ESPN+. So definitely make sure to check that one out. And you heard it here, backing Wainwright and the Cardinals. So
yep,
get your picks in. Get your picks in. But that does bring us to the Podcast City Network shop and all the great things that they offer, because whether it's a neck gaiter to protect you from COVID-19, a mug for your morning coffee, or a t-shirt just to look cool, we got you covered. Get to the latest apparel and gear for your favorite podcast and Podcast City Network by visiting podcastcity.net/shop and checking out the lineup.
It was just 3-0. Now they knocked Gray out of the game. 3-3 Giants. Brand new ball game.
Yeah, crazy how a lot of this can just turn right on its head.
In a second. In a Flint, you think you're winning something until you lose it.
No, that's true. That is so true.
Yeah.
But moving on to our second game, we're going to see the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for our Thursday night opener for the NFL season. And, man, like we said,
Dak is back.
Dak is back is what they say, but
the linemen, they're missing the linemen, COVID or something, right?
Yep, missing a couple from COVID. And, of course, you got Zeke Elliott, who's trying to get back running right as well. But the big thing I look at is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking absolutely like the same exact team from last year, because they literally brought back the entire Super Bowl winning team, even Antonio Brown.
They added Bernard, huh?
And added Bernard. So they've made a couple additions as well. But the biggest thing I saw was Tom Brady is 100%, because apparently he played through an MCL injury all last season and now is rearing and ready to
he
go.
said he had COVID after they won Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl parade.
They got to give it up to Brown. After this whole shenanigans, he came there, and you don't hear a whole lot. They tried to blast him when he came back. You don't hear a whole lot about him. He's kind of staying under the wraps, playing football now. I mean, he is that good. So,
he really is.
You know, you can come back and do something on somebody's back and still end up back in the league. You got to be good, you know?
No, absolutely. But looking at this line, the Bucs currently are favored by 8 points, over and under at 51.5. How do you feel about this line?
It's going up as we speak. It opened at a 7 to an 8. Some places even have it 9, 9.5. Public's going to be on Tampa, but the Sharps are sending that line up as well. If you look back to a tradition, Super Bowl winners cover like 80, 90% of the time. Last year when I did my show, Super Bowl, I think that's right when we kicked off. Super Bowl winners was KC. I think they opened up against Houston Texans.
Yeah.
My memory is good enough.
No, it is who they
and it was an 8
against.
or 9 line, and they won by 14 or 13 or 17. I don't remember. They covered.
Yeah.
Look for the same thing to happen here. You know I'm not a Brady guy, and I'm not a public guy. I know the public's going to be on Tampa, but I think the Sharps are moving that line. It'd have been great if you got in at 7. Just make sure you get in under 10. They're probably going to win this game by double digits. No offensive line on the other side. Bucs defense there. Dak just coming back, going to play a little scared. Is Zeke in shape? We don't know. A lot of unknowns there. The Bucs looked horrible in preseason.
They really did.
So with this line being where it's at, to me, it's a little high. And I think it's a little high because they're just going to roll over the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think the Bucs are going to roll the Cowboys right on up.
That's because you don't like the Cowboys.
I really don't like the Cowboys. It's a little bit of bias. It's why I try not to do picks on these kind of games, because my bias comes heavily out with my NFC East hate. So, anyways, all that aside, though, I have to agree with you. The Bucs, I think, are going to be the more dominant team in this game. And you think we're going to hit that 51.5?
I don't know. You would think you're going to get somewhere close to there. Someone asked me, my barber asked me today, I think he said some crazy number about like 60 or 70. And then he's like, well, what about 48? And I was like, you probably will see that. You expect the Cowboys to get, I'm thinking something like 35-21, 31-20,
Right.
somewhere in that area. I'm seeing Tampa in the 30s, Cowboys in the 20s, maybe the teens, maybe high 20s, 28-17. So definitely going to be in the 40s, 50s range. I wouldn't mess with the total too much unless I seen a big steam movement come down. But you're gonna be looking somewhere in between that kind of game. 10, 15 point spread, somewhere between the 20 and the teens or the 30s and the 20s. With Tampa just taking this game at home to open the season, that crowd's gonna be pumped.
Oh yeah,
football's back. You know, it's gonna be something special over there. Are they doing ring ceremony?
I think they are doing the ring ceremony.
Yeah.
So definitely going to be some good stuff. Definitely make sure to check out Podcast City Network, though, and all the great things going on, because FixedEdge is a proud member of Podcast City Network and has 20-plus independent podcast members across all genres of podcasting. You can find Podcast City Network on Facebook at facebook.com/Podcast City Network, on Twitter at Podcast City Net, on Instagram at Podcast City Net, and on YouTube by searching Podcast City Network. And, of course, always the website, podcastcity.net. Be creative, be independent, be yourself. Podcast City Network, and they just added a brand new show, the Sportszilla Podcast, which
I like it. I saw that.
yeah, it's supposed to be debuting tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern on Facebook Live and Twitch. So definitely make sure to check that one out. That one should be really good. And of course, now part of Podcast City Network. So
is that like the Baconzilla at Wendy's?
Oh man, that'd be so good if it was.
Oh, I don't know. So maybe that's what they're doing, giving away free Baconzillas on sports.
I'd be all about that. But that does bring us to investing 101 and being smart. And we already had a question come through in the DMs asking about big steam moves and what that means.
Yeah, so big steam moves is when you watch a line. And, for instance, this weekend, which I told you our Notre Dame was going to struggle, that line opened at 9. It got sent down to 7. Mm-hmm. We know the public was on Notre Dame. Steam action came in on the other side to drop that line down. Kind of the same thing here with Tampa at a 7, went to a 9. This is a little different because the public is on Tampa and it's going Tampa's way. Mm-hmm. With Notre Dame, the public was on Notre Dame and it was going FSU way. So to be sure you're on the right steam movement and to see it, you want to make sure that you're on the side against the money. So if the public, like this one, if you don't know who you're dealing with, you're like, oh, is that public moving the line or is it steam moving? It has to be when it's happening. Mm-hmm. It happened when a line, usually it happens when a line comes out. You'll see a line open at something, and then like that same day they give it out to the people, sharks that are betting it, and that line will adjust, and then it comes out to the public. So there's a group of guys that get to bet these lines before the rest of everybody else. Mm-hmm. And then you'll see the line shift. Sometimes you'll see a 14 go to a 9, and you'll never get the chance at that 14. But you'll know if that big line swing is usually steam movement, as long as it isn't public perception. Right. Public perception is what you usually want to stay away from. Sometimes it's okay. The public has to be right sometimes. It can't always be wrong. So, but yeah, definitely follow steam movement, especially if it's going against the public. It's usually money.
No, definitely some good stuff. And always make sure, no matter what you do, have a system. Don't just go out there throwing money around all willy-nilly, because that's how you're going to end up losing your entire bankroll. You need to actually be smart, put this into a system, and actually invest rather than just bet wildly.
Yes, and I've been showing them, now that football's back, I've been showing them a bankroll, I've been showing them a tracker. You know, my bankroll's of 50,000 plus, so 500,000 is, very small percentage of the bankroll. Most people mistake that. They go with 1,000 or 2,000, and then they throw the $500 or 1,000 out there. You can't win. You got to play inside your means, guys.
Right.
What's for one guy isn't for the next guy. You're not getting rich overnight. I didn't build my bankroll last week. I've been building my bankroll for a while, and I've been doing this for a while. So in order to get there, you'll get there. But you start small. And some people say, well, what if I start with 1,000 or 2,000? You can start with 500. Now you decide, when I get to 1,000, am I taking profit or am I trying to build a bigger bankroll? Mm-hmm. So for me, I used to use $10,000 bankrolls, and then everything over 10,000 would be my profit. Now I got money in all different accounts, and I just I take profit as I need it, but I've made plenty of profit. So now I'm building different bankrolls, whether it be 100,000, $250,000. It really doesn't matter. It's all for your comfort. What do you want to play in? What can you swallow? Because as you're playing inside there, your plays get bigger and bigger. So on a $100,000 bankroll, you might have a $5,000, $10,000 play like this. Now, can you swallow that when you're losing a game and you got 10,000 on it? Not everybody can swallow and sleep like that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It takes a special breed. So play with inside your bankroll. Know what your bankroll is, what that is, and when I say your bankroll, it's money you're willing to lose. You don't need for bills. Like, that's what your bankroll should be. Your bankroll shouldn't be how much you have in your bank account and then you can get on those games. Your bankroll should be money that you're willing to lose and money that you have put aside or whatever, and you throw it in there. And then what we do is we help you build it like this, instead of the other guys tell you, hey, I got a game that's not going to lose tonight, get XYZ on it, and then they blow their bankroll, and then they DM me and say, hey, have you heard of such and such? He told me if I lost, he would split the winnings with me. We'd split the winnings if I won, but if he lost, he'd give me half back. And these guys are a dime a dozen hustling out there. So don't get hustled. You can DM us. We'll help you for free. We'll help you get inside your system for free, what fits your bankroll, your exact bankroll. We'll group you with the guys of 500, the guys of 1,000. We got guys 5,000, got guys 10,000. And then we got a few up there in the 20s. So don't feel ashamed. Your bankroll, you can come in with $200, but just be ready to make $2, $3 and making you're not coming in with 200 and we're going to turn it into 1,000 tonight. Like, that's not going to happen. So we don't want to sugarcoat it. We want to keep it real. We're not like all the other brands out there. We're transparent. As you can see, I posted my loser last night. We had 10 straight days in the green. Yesterday ended that. I showed everybody that we lost because I am human. Had a losing day, and who knows? We might have 1 or 2 more losing days, or we might have 3 more winning days. We keep it real. We keep it showing you because this is a real investment. And if you're investing and you're doing this for a living, you can't win every day. It's not possible. If it was, everybody would just listen to that guy. So it's ups and downs. The money management in the system, like we always go over, is key. And I'm going to throw a little twist for them. I'm going to give them a free play tonight.
Oh, snap.
Yep, a free play tonight.
Hearing it here on Fixed Edge.
It's the POD, my play of the day. It's going in another 55 minutes. Get on those Indians, okay? They're a cheap line. McKenzie's on the hill. It's about 125, 130 you're going to lay for the Indians. Get on them tonight. Thank me tomorrow. Put it in your system. Don't be greedy. It is a winner, but don't be greedy. Put it in some kind of system. And when we get back, we'll even add that to our recap, and I'll eat that if it doesn't win. But remember, just because I'm telling you it's a winner doesn't mean you need to go put your whole bankroll on it. Put 1%, 2%, even 5% at the most, and enjoy that game, along with the tip on the Cardinals. But Cleveland's my POD. I usually don't give them out that often because some people don't know how to use them, what to do with them. They say, your POD, it must not lose. And then they go putting crazy money on it. Got to be in a system. Even if it's a POD. What a POD to me is and what a POD to you guys are 2 different things. So make sure you play it according to your bankroll as I'll play it according to mine.
Definitely. You heard it here first on Fixed Edge. Better hop on the Indians as well. POD of the day. So, but we thank you guys so much for watching episode 28 of Fixed Edge.
9.
Oh, that's going to be next week.
Oh, next week.
Yeah, see, next week, episode 29.
Oh, man. I thought we were already on 9.
No. We're getting there, though.
I don't know anything. All I know is who plays in the sports. I'm pretty pathetic.
Nah, it's okay, though. You put it all in the system.
I don't know how to put the bio in the thing. I don't know how to do this, send them links. I don't know anything. All I know is to play the games. That's pathetic.
Oh, man. It's all right, though. It's all right. It's why you got me, man. It's why you got me.
I'll get it one of these days.
It's all good. But definitely make sure to check it out. And if you missed earlier, you got to check out our picks for Game 1 with the Dodgers Cardinals, back in the Cardinals and Wainwright. And, of course, the Cowboys and Buccaneers getting behind them Super Bowl winning almost said Cowboys. Wow, that would have hurt. Buccaneers.
Yeah, and I dropped the POD live. So if they can check this or watch the replay or they're live right now, they got 53 minutes to hop on them Indians. That POD will be on them large and in charge tonight.
Absolutely. So definitely make sure to hop on it. But until next time, I'm Chris, and that's
Money,
S Money, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a great night.
Podcast City Network.